Hi, my name's Cameron Falzone, and the meditation topic that I get to lead today is from the book The Wesley Challenge by Chris Folmsbee, and it is, am I consciously or unconsciously creating the impressions that I am better than I am? And when I really dove into it, what stood out to me was, am I worrying more about my perceived appearance with others rather than trusting and deeply knowing that I am the perfectly flawed, fully loved, and openly vulnerable, constantly growing child of Christ? Focusing on that word growing, always growing. So I'd like to read an excerpt from the piece, and it says, "No faking it here. Jesus was well aware of his status and abilities. He was in tune with his life and place in the whole of reality. He wasn't concerned with appearances. There are even moments in the hours leading up to his death where he could have talked his way out of his crucifixion. He could have cleared his name or defended himself. Instead, Jesus remained silent, unconcerned with the impressions of his interrogators. He didn't need to prove anything to anyone. So often in life, we struggle with appearances. We can't bear to have our name slandered. We need to be liked." So the reason that I gravitated to this piece is that I'm going through an experience in my life right now where I'm transitioning out of a business partnership, potentially into a career transition. And I recently was at the negotiating table with this former partner, and as hard as I tried, I still ended up in a place worrying about my appearance and sharing frustrations and ultimately negativity about the person or about the partner that I had from this past business. And reading this, it really spoke loudly to me that I could have approached it in a more silent and fully loving way that could have built the other person up as we both went through our own paths. I encourage you just to trust in the quietness of meditation and really listen for God's voice, which I think can powerfully come through during meditation. So let's take deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, another deep breath in. Find what works for you. Deep breath out. So as you sink into this place of quietness, I really want to ask you, is there a piece of this story where Jesus kept his silence and trusted in God's plan? Is there something that really resonates with you in your life? Keep that breath going. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Does it trigger something where you could worry less about appearance and more about trusting that God has designed you perfectly? Could that appearance be physical, a performance appearance, spiritual, mental, or even appearance of relationships in your life? I really want to emphasize that God gave us all flaws, but he also gave us all strengths, which are the gifts and my belief that God gave us. And how can we maximize those strengths and those gifts? Continue to deep breath in, deep breath out at your own steady pace. Now, where in our lives can we amplify our strengths in a loving and serving way? Continue those breaths in, breaths out. Again, finding your rhythm and your quietness, and truly listen for that voice of God. And as we close this out, continue with your steady breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. How can we encourage the growth in ourselves on a daily basis and in others, so that we further God's desire for wholeness in his kingdom and throughout our world? Deep breath in, deep breath out. And if you continue this silence right now, amazing. If you're going back to your day, I hope that these thoughts and the voice that God has spoken to you with is impactful and resonates in your life. Amen.